Hey guys, today we are learning the percent proportion. Our essential question is how can I use a proportion to solve a percent problem? So, our proportions are always going to be part over whole equals the percent over 100. All right. So if I have a question like what is 12% of 50? We want to figure out, we have some important numbers here, of 50, 12%. So whenever it says of something, that's going to be our whole, and this is going to be our percent. So let's fill out what we know. The part, we are not sure of what the part is in our sentence, so we're going to use an X. The whole is 50 equals, the percent is 12. And it's always going to be out of 100 because percent means a number out of 100. We're going to use cross multiplication to solve. X times 100 is 100x. 50 times 12, let me use my handy dandy calculator. 50 times 12 is 600. Now I need to solve for x. Divide by 100 on both sides. And x turns into 6. So 6 is 12% of 50. Number 2. 30% of what number is 90? So our key words, 30%, that's my percent, of what number is what's missing, so we're missing the whole, and is 90 means it's the part. So part over whole equals percent over 100. My part is 90 divided by the whole, we don't know what the whole is, equals 30% out of 100. Let's use our cross multiplication. X times 30 is 30x. 90 times 100 is 9,000. Divide by 30, and we get the answer of x equals 300. All right, let's try another one. This one's going to be a word problem. Carl scored 35% of his team's 40 points. How many points did Carl score? So my part over my whole. So we want to know how much did Carl score. That's the part. 40 points is the whole because that's how much his whole team scored. 35 is the percent. So part over whole equals percent over 100. Part over whole equals percent over 100. So my part, we don't know. My whole is 40. The percent is 35, and it's always percent out of 100. All right, let's cross multiply. 100 times x is 100x. 35 times 40, I need my calculator for that one, is 1400. Divide both sides by 100. X will equal 14. So Carl scored 14 points. All right, let's do another one. This is going to be 2 more examples, I think. Two more examples. All right, number 1, 2, 3, 4. 75% of the class wore hats on Spirits Day. Spirit Day. How many students are in class if there are 15 hats? Okay, so we're going to do part over the whole equals percent over 100. In this case, our part is the kids that have hats on. The whole is the total amount of students. So our part are 15 people with hats. We don't know how many students are in class. We do know that 15 hats is 75% out of 100. So now, cross multiply. 75 times x equals 1500. Divide by 75 on both sides. Use my handy dandy calculator and I get 20. So there are 20 total students in class. All right, last one. Number 5. A group was surveyed about the type of cell phone they use. So iPhone was 90 people. Android was 120. Samsung was 60. Google was 80. And Nokia, who uses Nokia, was 10. What percentage said they had Google phones? What percent has Google? So we're going to do the part over the whole equals percent out of 100. So part, so Google, our part is 80. We have to add up all these numbers to find the whole. So 90 plus 120 plus 60 plus 80 plus 10 is 360. We don't know the percent, so that's the X out of 100. We're going to cross multiply to solve. 360 times X is 360X. 80 times 100 is 8,000. 8,000 divided by 360. Oh boy. Divide by 360 on both sides. And we get X is 22.2 repeating percent. All right, one more. What percentage has an iPhone? So my part, iPhone is 90. Our whole is 360 equals percent over 100. For percent, I'm going to put X. Same thing, cross multiply. 360 times X is 360X. 90 times 100 is 9,000. Divide by 360 on both sides. 9,000 divided by 360 is 25% have iPhones. Alright, thank you for watching. Make sure you have all of your notes written down. See ya tomorrow.